What's up, Facebook? Michael here, Company Cam. It's Talk About It Tuesday. I was not going to miss this one. Super excited for our guest. We got Bill Combs, No Time for Social. I'm here in Galveston, Texas, not too far from Bill. He's in Round Rock.
Yeah.
I'm on the Gulf of Mexico, getting ready to go do some swimming. But we've got Bill, and Bill's with No Time for Social. I'm going to let Bill have the stage and kind of give you guys a little precursor on what No Time is, and then we'll fire some questions at him.
Sure. Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot for having me, Michael. Really excited to be talking with you today. I've been around this industry since 1995 when I helped found another company called Hailwatch, and kind of fell into the marketing side of things. It's always kind of been a passion of mine. Obviously, when we started selling hail data, there's the marketing component, which roofers always seem to need. And around 2008 is when Facebook started really kind of getting ramped up and really started kicking things in. And back then, we were even running about 50,000 a year in Facebook ads just for Hailwatch. So I've been kind of in the deep trenches of Facebook advertising, and then really expanding that into a massive amount of digital marketing now, whether that's email, in some cases beginning to build websites for clients, still a big focus on Facebook advertising. But our real goal here is to utilize digital marketing, utilize all of these digital marketing assets, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, not as much Twitter, although we're still doing some work on Twitter. Instagram is new, hot, up and coming one. So really anything having to do with social media, having to do with digital marketing, we're trying to get our hands in now to help guide our customers, whether it's roofers or other clients that we work with, for them to make good decisions and to utilize digital marketing to its fullest. So we're in Round Rock. Well, we've got a team of 6, 7. I think we're in the hiring process right now for a few, but we've got 2 offices here in Round Rock, and just excited to continue to help the community, the roofing community.
Absolutely. So one thing you mentioned there was good decisions, and that's, at Company Cam, we're talking to roofing contractors or just contractors in general all the time, and marketing is that it's a hot topic. So one thing that maybe would be beneficial for the people that we're, working with, what would you say is, should they do it themselves, or how do they know when they're ready for a No Time for Social? Because, I've messed around with Facebook ads and I can put them out there, but sure, some of the things that you and I just talked about, getting in depth and retargeting and targeting, specific areas, I don't know that. So should they poke around with it and then reach out to you, or how would you recommend doing that?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question and a good point. I think there's this weird dynamic that's going on now within Facebook, especially if you're a page owner. Facebook does these teasers where they'll tell you, hey, if you boost a post, you can reach 3,000 people or you can reach 5,000 people. Once you dive deep down into the Facebook ads platform, it becomes super, super complicated. So it really depends on how much you want to do with Facebook and with Instagram and with this digital marketing. If you're all in on it, right, and you determine, hey, our company, we are going to be in the digital age. We're going to transform our company from whatever we're doing now. Could be radio, could be TV, could be print. And we're going to transform into a digital marketer, and we're going to target people that are sitting on their phones all day long, whether they're on Facebook, whether they're on Instagram. The audience is really here. It's a matter of you getting in front of them, putting out solid content, and being able to take that leap and do it right. So the decision part of that is, do you have somebody in-house that can produce the proper graphics? Do you have somebody in-house that is in the position to be able to produce content and run content as a Facebook ad? What is your objective with the ads? Are you a traveling storm person, or do you have a local presence, or do you have both? That will change the dynamic of how you're running ads. And then as you get deeper down into it with these custom audiences, for me, especially now that we've seen the issues with the Russian stuff and all the data and all that, the custom audiences and the ability to build custom audiences and manage these custom audiences within Facebook is going to be critical. So you can upload an email list into Facebook. You can create an audience. You can now create an audience based off of that audience that says, I want people that look like these individuals. You can run a video, the video that we're on right now, this Facebook Live. When we're done with this Facebook Live, Company Cam could run this as an ad. And for people that happen to sit and watch 75% of this live video, we've captured their audience. We can run another ad that says if 10,000 people viewed it, of that 10,000, if 1,000 people viewed it to 75%, we want another ad to run to those 10,000 and then, or 1,000. Out of that 1,000, another ad can run. So it really can get pretty complicated, and you've got to have somebody that is focused. It's really tough to just flip a switch and say, well, we're going to be a Facebook marketing company now. And we've got some really interesting tools that we're getting ready to launch that hopefully can help the market. I don't know if you want to ask another question, but I can talk about some of the things that we're getting ready to launch here at No Time for Social for the roofing industry specifically.
Yeah, actually, I think that, because we had already talked about that, and your answer there kind of spurred my next question, which I think will kind of even transition into that. So I talk to companies all the time, and with Company Cam, we've got the before and after picture template and some of the things that are good for Facebook. And I say, I'll tell the contractor, hey, get those out at least on Facebook, and they'll tell me, yeah, we're active on Facebook, and I'll go look at their page, and they've got 3 things posted in 2018, and that's all they've got.
Right. I've seen it.
So kind of a two-part question. What would be a good frequency for my roofing company or my HVAC company to post on Facebook? Mm-hmm. And then what are some of the things that, because I think people just get stuck in, I have to post a picture or I have to post some sort of a deal. If I'm not posting a picture or a deal, I can't post on Facebook. So how often should I post, and what are some things that are, good things to post other than pictures?
Sure. So this sort of kind of goes back to the local presence versus the storm. So I'll focus on the local for now, just because it kind of allow us to look at one process of how a company could build out that content. So obviously you want more deals. People want to get more customers. I would say going in and being able to post things that are community-based. If you're doing things that are community-based, that is always a great way, a great content piece. So if you're doing something in the community to help people, definitely use that as content. If you're, I say you could do something pertaining to the company. So it's always fun to highlight people's accomplishments. It's always people do birthdays all the time. From our perspective, 3 to 5 times a week. You don't necessarily have to be posting every day, but 3 to 5 times a week is enough to kind of keep your audience engaged with your company. No one's clicking a button and buying a roof online. So you've got to connect with your potential group of customers that may be interested in working with you at some point, whether it's a week from now, a month from now, or a year from now. You want them to be interacting with your content and understanding that at some point when they need a roof or when they need some storm repairs or when they want gutters or whatever other things that you do within your company, your name is going to be top of mind because you've been putting out content. So sales content, company content related to the organization, things happening within the community that you want to highlight. Be that maybe that go-to company that could produce information like, here are the top 5 things that you need to be aware of as we get into winter. Here are the top 5 things you need to be aware of as we get into spring. Lists are always good to kind of engage people and get them thinking. You could post polls. You could post videos of jobs that you're currently working on. You could post videos of testimonials from customers if you could get them to engage with you. So the realm of content is certainly something that if you map that out and begin to put together a plan, you could certainly have enough content to push out. I know we've got a question from Jake Dempsey on why social media is an important part of your marketing plan. And it kind of goes back to what I just talked about. If you have a marketing plan and it includes, I'm going to send postcards to these customers, or I'm going to do a radio commercial, it's really hard for people to visually get into that realm. So if you have a customer testimonial and somebody that is able to get on camera and you're able to produce that testimonial and push it out to your potential audience, there's not a better way to connect with people. With 85% of America on their phone 99% of the time, you've got this audience that's just really in the position to consume this content. It's a matter of putting out the right content and making sure that you're not overwhelming them with buy a roof, buy a roof, buy a roof, buy gutters, buy siding. They'll become a buyer at some point as long as you're nurturing that audience over a period of time.
Absolutely. So one thing I always suggest, when I'm working with contractors and they kind of tell me, I don't know what to put on Facebook other than those pictures. There's content out there, and I know I'll let you dive a little deeper. I know you're kind of developing some of that, but there's the GAFs, the Owens Cornings. They've got blog posts on 5 things to look for in your roofing contractor, those kind of things. And I tell them, like, you can't wait for the hailstorm to hit and throw an ad out and say, hey, we do roofs, because there's 50 people doing that in that city. But if you go, weeks in advance and say what to look for in your, contractor, or how to prepare for hail season, and like you said, it kind of keeps you top of mind. That way, when it happens, they're not trying to search Facebook, because they're not. That's the one time they're probably not worried about Facebook, is when they got 3-inch holes in their decking of their roof. They're probably not saying, hey, I wonder what's going on Facebook world. They've got to make that decision now. Tell me a little bit more about the content that you guys are kind of working on and getting ready to, maybe roll out. You said you were working on a roofing package.
Yeah, we've got a really cool thing that we're getting ready to launch. In fact, I'll probably be firing up some Facebook ads that may be hitting some of the roofers on this live stream now. It is called Social Media Stockpile for Contractors, or SMS for short. And our goal there is really to have roofers, whether they've got an admin in their office, let's say they're in the position where they're growing, but they're not going out and hiring a digital marketing expert and spending 50 grand a year to bring somebody in to manage this social media process, but they need support. So they don't necessarily want to outsource it to No Time for Social. They're not in the position yet, but it'd be really cool for their point person, whether it's an admin in their office, whether they want to do it themselves, whoever that person is that is in control of content, to be able to accomplish pushing out content at a fairly reasonable price every month. And I'm going to say under $600, and we're still finalizing some of those numbers. But for that amount, you're getting a planning calendar. So we're giving you an entire calendar with posts, including texts, videos, things that need to be pushed out on a monthly basis. So that entire content calendar, that doesn't preclude you from putting in your testimonial videos and including all the other things that we just spoke about, but it at least gives you a solid plan that you can begin scheduling content out on Facebook, scheduling it on Instagram and these other platforms, and really know that you've got somebody on that has your back that's going to provide this information on a monthly basis. We're also going to provide you with the videos. So we've got pre-crafted videos that you can produce. We've got that marketing collateral. We're going to provide you with 3 blogs on a monthly basis. So these blogs will be sort of what we just talked about. You have those blogs, you can post them out to your website, brand them for your company, 2 monthly newsletters, and then some other tips and tricks, and just, give you as much value as you can get to make sure that you're going to be successful with social media. Couple other things I'm working on now is we also have a training course that we produce online at trainmeonsocial.com. If you signed up for the content bank, we're working on some specials now where the first 10 that sign up will get that course at no charge. We're also a Digital Marketer certified partner. Digital Marketer is a training operation, and they happen to be based out of Austin. We have a massive amount of training material within their platform for modules that we can also give as add-ons for some of our paid customers. So our goal here with this is to just provide a massive amount of content and information to anybody that is interested in having that information pre-built for them on a monthly basis and not having to go, man, it's Sunday night. I was supposed to do my content calendar for the week and put out my posts, and I have no idea where I'm going to start. So our goal is to bring that to the masses. Obviously, we've got to be a little bit careful with how many people have that content bank in one city or one state, but these are things that we'll be able to work through over time. So that's it in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome because, when we first started talking before we went live here, like I tell contractors that go find content that's out there because it's out there. Find that place. Well, if it's all in a content bank, that'll make life really easy. Another thing that I kind of have taken from the space, because I'm new to the contracting space. I haven't been here, about 2 years now.
Sure.
And there's two things that I take away. One, the too good to be true type of, promises. I go to events and it's, hey, we're going to boost your sales by 300%. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So there's that. And then there's implementing of the plan because, it does take time. So what's your recommendation for, we brought you on because I've vetted you. I know you do things the right way. You're a Catalyst Group member.
Sure.
No Time for Social is a great company. How do I vet my third-party marketer, my digital marketing company? And then how long should I expect it to take to see some, ROI on that?
Yeah. I think the biggest area where we've seen challenges with that has been the SEO realm, which is search engine optimization. For years, I've watched it. When Hail Watch really started blowing up in 2007 to 2011, and we created the Hail Swath report, we also kind of began to dabble into marketing, obviously, and we did see a lot of companies out there that we would have roofers say, yeah, this guy wants to sell me SEO at $2,000 a month or $2,500, and they're going to promise me to be at the first page. And then 3 months later, they're like, we don't know what's going on. We've lost communication with them and we're just paying them this money. Help us, right? So we aligned ourselves back then with a couple companies. One of them is a new Catalyst Group member, roofing contractor marketing out of Denver, and Greg Hoffman and I have been buddies for years, and so that's you've got to be careful of who you're aligning yourself with and what they're delivering to you. As far as social media, the interesting thing about social media is when does that return start, right? So for a company engaging with us, it's pretty easy to see what you're paying for, because it's impossible to hide it, right? So with search engine optimization, I have no idea what they're doing, right? It's this black hat stuff that goes on in the background. When you hire No Time for Social and we say we're going to post, we're going to produce content, we're going to run ads, all of that stuff is visible to the world. So we deliver on what we're telling you we're going to do. Now, it doesn't mean that people are going to be knocking on your door saying, holy cow, I didn't realize this great content was out there. I need a roof today. That may take 3, 6, in some cases 9 months. It doesn't mean that that investment is going nowhere. It means that you're beginning to build these audiences that I talked about, right? So let's say we produce a video, a testimonial video with one of your customers, and we push that out over a 45-day period to your 100,000 homeowner audience in Denver that we're focusing on. And out of those 100,000, 50,000 people watch the video. Of those 50,000 people, 2,500 of them view it, more than 75%. Well, then we go in and create another audience that we're going to run additional ads to. And that may be a blog post where they're getting information. It may be a link to our website. So now we're beginning to get people into our website, which, by the way, will also create a website custom audience that can retarget people that hit your website. So over time, our goal is to make sure that your digital marketing, what we've built out, becomes a sustainable return on investment. But the fact that people are out there saying, I'm going to get you 500 leads in your first week, I don't buy it. I maybe there's some people out there that have ways that they can do it, and they may not be the best ways, and they may be ways that are getting you leads that are crap leads. But I would say in some cases, 3 months, the soonest, in some cases, 6 months, in some cases, 9 months. We have had instances where somebody signs up with us and 2 months after they sign up, a storm hits, and we run some targeted storm marketing that get them leads in right away. So doesn't mean that, the return is not off the table right away, but you do need to be careful who you're working with and what they're promising. And to be honest with you, I've turned down roofing clients because they've come to me and say their first question is, how many leads can you get me? And I say, if leads is the only thing that you're interested with digital marketing, I really don't want to work with you. And it doesn't mean that, you can't find a company out there that's going to do it for you. But I'm all about digital marketing as the sustained long-term process in order to make you successful. So a lot of it is just philosophical. And some of it is I don't have any money to spend. So if I don't get leads in, I'm not going to be able to pay you anymore. So again, we try to vet our clients just as much as they're vetting us.
Absolutely. So I didn't even realize how good of overlap that question had until you went into it. But I think that really kind of shows the importance of vetting your third-party marketer. Because if we're going to wait 6 or 9 months to see return, and we've invested in one of the fly-by-night or false promises, now we're 6 or 9 months into wasting of money. Those things. Sure. So that's all great content. Those things. My wife, when I told her we're going live, so she's at the beach right now with the boys. But there was I don't know if it was an article or what it was, but there was a contractor somewhere that ran an ad on a lost dog. There's a lost dog in the community. They ran an ad, and it got like 10,000 views, the highest viewed ad. And I'm not saying, hey, the answer is to, help people find their lost pets. Right. But you could hit on it earlier too about how, that community thing. Would you recommend to contractors finding something in the community that they can kind of call their own or hang their hat on? Because the marketing companies that I see, and it might not even be something in the community, but Crest down here in Texas is one that is killing the social media game, and they've got the Crest hustle, and they're taking food and drinks to their guys out on roofs. Like, I see them everywhere. They're top of mind. Is that something you would recommend, almost coming up with a signature or something that you're always doing on social media?
Yeah, I think the only way now to distinguish yourself from the brands that are blah and kind of producing content that may not resonate is to latch on to something in the community, right? So if you can support a cause, and that cause, you can use that cause, not that you're using the cause, but you're supporting it, and you're full on interested in making sure that cause is taken care of, it absolutely will provide dividends. And this kind of ties into something that Jim Johnson teaches in his one of his classes is, what are some of the things that you can do to distinguish yourself? And he has he's been doing his roadshow. I was just up in Dallas at his roadshow, and he really dives into that in some of his sales process training is, getting something that your company can be passionate about, distinguishing yourself, changing the way that you're doing things within your company in order to be different. And that's really the fringes now of what we're seeing with digital marketing. The people that are successful using digital marketing are doing things that are different. And I think if you can distinguish yourself one way or another through video, through some of the ways that you're running your company, through customer testimonials and even employee testimonials, that's going to kind of raise your level up. And it's definitely something that I think a lot of companies are missing the boat on. An interesting thing about Crest and even any other company now, and I did a post on Storm Ventures Group a while back about this, and I don't think it got a ton of attention because they get a lot of posts on that group, is the ability now to look at any single Facebook ad that any company is running is now available. So at the top of the page on the cover photo on mobile, and at the bottom left of the list of different things like home, posts, reviews, there is a tab called Info and Ads. So if you wanted to look at competitor ads, you can click on info and ads and you'll see what types of ads that other companies are running. So that's kind of an interesting tidbit. That's one of the new things that has come out within Facebook due to all the Russian scandal and all that, is you can now look at any page and you can look at any ad that any page is running. And I've done a little bit of digging out there to look at roofing companies, some of the companies that we work with, to see what types of ads they're running, and even clients that reach out to me now. You know, they're like, hey, we want you to come in and we want you to market for our company. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is look at their Facebook page and look at what ads they're running. So that's kind of a neat thing you can do if you wanted to look at the Crest ads or some of the other companies that are doing really well. Take a look at what they're promoting. You can do that.
Absolutely. And I think kind of the key to what you just mentioned there was, you know, being passionate about it, because it's really easy to see through, you know, the hollow or fake, hey, we're just doing this to try to get your business. And hey, we truly are doing this because we care about our community, or, you know, maybe it is the dog thing. Hey, we truly, my wife would be all over that. You know, she is a dog lover through and through, and that would be something that's, you know, dear to her. And so, you know, being passionate about it, I think is a big piece of it. Yeah. I know we're kind of coming towards the end here. If you could give the contractors, you know, checking this out live, or, you know, that are going to watch this on replay, maybe one or two things to get them started, because I think there's two extremes. There's the contractors that are in the digital space right now, and they're maybe either, you know, muddling along, or they're really good at it, or the ones that have just not even made that jump yet. They haven't made the leap yet. Yeah. Say you're either getting ready to make the leap, or you're just made the leap and you're kind of muddling along. One or two tips for them to kind of get the ball rolling. Yep.
So I would say a zero expense tip would be to plan the work and work the plan. So if you're going to dive into digital marketing, I would say don't half-ass it. If you wanted some free training from Facebook, now it's a lot, so you're going to have to go out and spend the time, but there is a link called facebook.com/blueprint. So Facebook offers their own blueprint training. So there is definitely a way, there's more assets out there now, training assets, than a person could ever absorb. That really becomes the problem, because you're now having to dig through these different assets and figure out what is important, what is not important, what pertains to me, what doesn't. So you're going to have to figure out a way, how am I going to produce content? How am I going to get that content out to my page? And how am I going to learn the process of running Facebook ads? All of these things are complex, right? It'd be like saying, Bill Combs, go figure out how to put a roof on. It would take me a long time for me to figure out. I mean, I could surely get up on a roof and rip some shingles off, but to put a properly installed roof on, I wouldn't know where to start. So you're going to have somebody by your side training. And that's really where No Time for Social comes in. I mean, we've got the Train Me on Social platform that we've built. I'll do one-on-one trainings with people if they're interested in that. And then we've got the SMS for contractors, the stockpile that we're getting ready to produce. So one way or another, if you're going to jump in and you're going to do it, you've got to figure out a way to do it. You either have to hire somebody in-house to take care of it, figure it out on your own, or outsource it. And those would be my things to really focus on, is getting that plan together. And that's something that is truly important going forward in the digital marketing age. If you're not on top of it, your competitors certainly at some point will be. And then you begin to figure out, you know, back in the day when people said, well, I don't need a website because I have the yellow pages. A lot of those companies are out of business now because they fought tooth and nail getting on the web. If you're going to fight tooth and nail getting into the world of digital, and you're not focusing on this particular device right here, you're losing out on a tremendous opportunity to be in front of your potential audience.
Absolutely. So from my end of it, what I would recommend to the contractors personally is, like you said, go do some reading on it, do some research. I think that most contractors that haven't made the jump yet are going to realize that the outsourcing is going to just make sense. There's a lot of roofing companies that outsource almost everything they do other than the sale. And if they see benefit in that, I think they can see benefit in outsourcing the marketing. So read up on it, do some research. And then, like I talk about in a lot of the webinars I do, put that plan of action or that strategic operating procedure in place,
Yep.
so that you can stick to it. So that it's not just hey, we tried social media, it didn't work. Do your research, reach out to a third party if that's what makes sense, which I think in a lot of cases it will, and get things rolling and stick to it, because it is powerful. Company can, as you know, Company Cam, we're all over the place on our social media. We're pretty active there, so it can work. You just gotta put the time and the effort in, and in some cases reach out and get Bill on your side. And he's good to have. He's liking posts all the time. I see him liking posts. I'm like, it must be one of Bill's clients. He's out there working the Facebook world. So Bill, I definitely appreciate you jumping on the call with us.
Thank you.
And, I think there was some great content here today, and look forward to seeing you down the road here at the show.
Yeah, I'll be No Time for Socials, doing the social media marketing for the Best of Success conference up in Frisco at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, or their training stadium up there in Frisco in September. So we'll be on site there, maybe at the RCAT show, and obviously as we get into the next year's IRE and Win the Storm, will be on site, Balance Claims booth, or at the Catalyst Group booth. So look forward to seeing everybody out there.
Sounds great. Appreciate it, Bill. I'm going to go hit the golf up.
All right. Enjoy. Have fun. Thanks a lot.
Hey, have a good one.
Appreciate
Facebook.
it.